Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. And this one, it's going to be full of some amazing things that David Yu has actually gone over. So shout out to Will for the amazing interview. We're going to be going over a lot of bullish things throughout this video. So yeah, you're going to basically see what it is as we go through and as we talk about some of the things. But David, you actually came straight out of the gate with a lot of things that I enjoyed hearing. You all know that I have my own little perspective and my own things that I look for and I like to hear. And obviously, I'm hearing a lot of the things that I like to hear. I actually got a comment on one of my videos recently where someone was saying at the rate that they're expanding and things like this, they started off slow, and now with the rate that they're hiring, it's going to start moving faster and faster. And that made sense to me because it makes sense. It adds up. So yeah, they've been pretty incompetent, but I feel like the more good hires that they have under their belt, the better things is going to become. So I have not been factoring in the fact that they're hiring and expanding the team at this massive rate. So yeah, that being said, we're gonna jump straight into it. This is an exciting interview. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, and listen, I'm not saying bullish Cavell is back. I'm not saying that. I'm still, we not there yet, but I'm outside the window right now looking in where I might, I'm trying to see what's going on. I'm trying to see what's happening in there. You see what I'm saying? I'm not walking into the party yet, but I'm outside. I might be knocking on the glass window in a minute. But anyway, let's get into it, yo.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a good milestone. We now have a very solid team, um, and we continue to expand where we see great opportunity for us to move into, and you probably will see continue to grow from VeVe with features, updates, and new product offerings. We're really trying to tackle all the issues and things that we have fallen behind on, and slowly you'll see, and surely they are all coming together.
Yeah. So I like the fact that they're aware, that he's aware that the team has fallen behind on a lot. They've been dropping the ball, and the fact that he's saying that they're slowly trying to, trying to catch up. And that's like, this is what I mean by they need to be in the spotlight more, speaking on things like this, because understanding that they're messing up, and this is, and understand that it's still their intention and this is all part of their plan, that they're, getting to where they're going. I can't take that off of faith anymore. Part of your plan has been failing for the last few years. So I feel like it's needed to hear, okay, we fell behind, but we're hiring, we're doing these things, and this is going to, the tides are going to start turning. Obviously, that's a lot more reassuring because I'm not going to go on what you said 2 years ago. So we need some updated information, and this is going to be full of so much information. So yeah, this was the first part of it. Let's jump into the rest.
The overall arching objective goal is to really uh, breaking into the greater Asia market. And we're talking about the Chinese market, where digital collectible is it is a much larger market there than the rest. I mean, one of the marketplaces does up to about billion US dollars a day,
Wow.
um, US. So, going into this new market and understanding what the consumer wants and what they expect. And also, we must understand is that, prior to all these language rollout, and I think our Mandarin speaking within the app is rolling out as of today. But just going back to the plan for the greater Asia market is to ensure that the AR functions, the database, because in China there is a different set of laws and privacy and how data are contained and where they're kept. So we do need support in many fronts, in either cloud storage, security, payment aggregators up there, KYC, and also a major part is the Southeast Asia market, where Ali Cloud has a good database of users and business enterprises using their service there. ensuring that VeVe is always leveraging and using best technology practice to bring to our fans that experience is quite important. Up in Korea with the Five Studio, it's more understanding the capability of the other parts of the world where they sit at in regards to 3D content making. As many of you know, we are moving into this new VeVeVerse product feature we're offering. It is very strong. It is very important that we are always looking out best, strongest company in tech, in rendering, in developing the roadmap. Um, you probably already know, and the audience already know, the underlying foundation of our VeVeVerse is a platform to power that. Now we need to ensure that the aesthetic wise future rollout is going to be as good, um, and bringing that really to the front. So we are not just working with one studio; we're working with multiple studio who has acclaim awards and areas that they specialize in, and that's what we look for.
Yeah. I
So that was a lot. That was definitely a lot to unpack. Um, there this is solid. It's a lot of solid information here. The fact that they are focusing on the plans, they're focusing on the consistency of the quality in Asia, and I didn't realize that their marketplaces was doing $1 billion a day. So that is a lot of money that could potentially come into VeVe even from the Asian side. So when they start doing anime drops and things like that, this is super bullish for the app for sure, because we haven't had the unrealistic VeVe hype that was built up in America. We haven't gotten that in China yet, and that is to where a lot of digital, like they're farther along when it comes down to digital things and gaming and stuff like that. Like they're farther along in that area, so we haven't had the pump that we could potentially have there. And if they're already used to spending that type of money digitally, I mean that could be a lot of influx of cash coming from just coming from just there. Well, they're billion people if they can even manage to get a hold of that many people, which I mean, depending on what brands they bring in, like you see some One Piece, some Dragon Ball Z, some Naruto, some Bleach. Like you start to see Pokemon, you start to see some crazy names like this coming to the VeVe app. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. And also he's speaking a little bit on the VeVeVerse. I mean, I don't know. Like I know that they want to do the best that they can when it comes down to the tech. I don't know if the current tech they have chosen is necessarily the best. It looks like something that was just grabbed and slapped together coming from my perspective, but maybe there's something that I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't understand or see or something like that. Maybe they got something up their sleeves. But yeah, I don't know. So we'll figure it out. We'll end up seeing, but yeah, let's actually jump into the rest. All right, y'all. So in this part, David, you is actually going to be speaking a little bit on where he sees the world moving into. Now, the reason that I think this part is important is because if you can see how they see the world, where they see things going, you can kind of learn how they're looking at things, learn what they're prioritizing. You can learn a lot from how someone sees the world, where they believe that we're going, and you can kind of try to predict where you think the position is that they're going to try to put us in as a whole. So it's a lot of information that you can get from understanding how someone views the world and how someone sees things. So yeah, this is very valuable to me. So yeah, let's jump into this.
And this is where the world is moving into. It's moving into areas where technology can bring different way of feeling, emotion. I mean, for VeVe, right now we are having a great fun when we see the AR characters out there. But as we all know, and Apple has announced that the Apple Pro Vision glasses will be coming out hopefully sometime 2024. And going back to even 2017, both myself and Dan, when we pitched to licensors or even investors in the pitch meetings, it's always about, imagine the world where you put on a AR or mixed reality glasses, you will really see and understand that digital layer. And that digital layer, what do you want to see? You want to see things that you can't interact in the real world every day. And that the studio and the producers has demonstrate that by bringing these out through the technology available, it's quite meaningful. And
I find it interesting how hard they're going on the wearable front. Me personally, I mean, I can't imagine. Well, I guess I play the game with headset and stuff on all day anyway, but I just can't imagine goggles, really being fully, I guess, integrated into, the reality of what I'm playing and things like that. I don't know. I don't know. Especially if you got to run around and actually run playing games. I mean, people would be a hell of a lot healthier, but I'll be a hell of a lot more trash at games if you actually got to be in shape to play the game. It's like, I don't know. It's not a game at that point. It's work. It's like, I might as well just go outside and do it for real. But yeah, I don't know where the technology is going, but VeVe definitely does want to take this approach to the whole, the virtual reality, and they're really looking towards that. They really believe that that's the future, it would seem. um I don't know. I don't know if I could ever get with that, but I mean, the kids growing up with ADHD, everybody, it's so much stuff. And I don't even believe in ADHD, to be honest. I don't believe that people have that. I think that nowadays kids are more likely to be diagnosed with ADHD simply because there's more distractions. Like, I can't imagine back when I was in school, if in my phone I had like, I remember, like, even wanting to see stuff like porn, you had to find magazines, you had to find stuff in people's closets and your family and stuff like that. Like, bro, you got porn, you got games, you got dating, like dating apps for like teen. Like, you got everything that you need. You got to have every distraction in the world in your pocket. No one would be able to focus. I definitely wouldn't have been able to focus back then. Like, I couldn't focus back then as it was. I would not be able to focus with everything that I would need to distract myself in the palm of my hand in class, especially if class is boring. It's like, no. So, yeah. But anyway.
We want to work with company with great stories and great meaningful projects, and that technology can really enhance that experience.
Right.
So they're looking to work with companies that technology can enhance their experience. So yeah, that I mean, this is fair. That's a lot of fair. That's a fair perspective, and I think that that's the right approach. Those are the right companies that they should be working with because they have a lot of value that they could bring to one another. So yeah, that's pretty dope. But yeah, let's continue. All right, y'all. So we're going to pretty much end this video here because he's going to jump into, this $1 billion number, this $1 billion perspective, and what we have to potentially look forward to and what this means for VeVe. So Will actually asks an amazing question here. And yeah, this is where we're going to leave off at. I don't want to pack too much information into just one video, but yeah, this was big. This was a big question. So yeah, let's jump into it.
Right. And then you also mentioned that I think China has like a pretty big industry of digital collectibles, and they have a really good like demand and sales. You mentioned that 1 billion numbers. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and your plan in Asia as a huge market?
Yeah, just to give you an idea, I was very lucky to able to visit multiple campus at Alibaba, and the amount of parcel the company ships a day through their e-commerce business is mind-blowing. It's over 100 million parcels just from one giant corporation. It just shows you that how advanced they are already in digital. People shop online. People are buying things through online more regularly than they probably do in the traditional retail. And it's just the tipping point where it's going to be moving into the digital goods. The digital goods is already a big billions and billions of market. And we're talking gaming. I mean, the audience there, it's in different type of gaming than the Western world, where they're reinventing themselves and with gaming technology and the IP that they created and people know of. So that was very a great experience to see that they already have an existing market where people are willing to be buying. But I do have to admit the quality of the content obviously is still a few years back, and we're really talking about when VeVe is going to be available in the greater Chinese market, it will include what we see as of today, the 3D aspect, the AR, and these type of content that we have on VeVe is still very limited over there. So it's been very traditional IPs that has been coming out. We want to use both the Western and the East, and to leverage off, number one is culture, promoting culture differences. You will start to see more and more Asian-oriented content will be slowly moving in and emerging into our platform. And we wanted to test to see if there's a market and demand for the appetite for, currently what we call it, the 70% of our market. It is still very Western, and slowly introducing properties and content maker like yourself who embrace these new IP and characters. If there's appetite, we'll continue to bring more.
Okay, so I guess Astro Boy was a test for them. And I mean, a test at that caliber, Astro Boy is pretty big. A test at that caliber is crazy. So you have to wonder what else they have up their sleeve. If you use Astro Boy, a drop that significant as a test run and to kind of, test the waters, what else do you have? Like, what are you testing for? What's that big brand? What is that brand that's going to be releasing where it's like, like certain drops that they did on VeVe, I'm sure was tests for Marvel. What is the Marvel that's coming when it comes down to Asia? What is it?
I think I did mention, overnight the success of Astro Boy have demonstrated that there's appetite for these type of things. We are going to be bringing out. In fact, my job is to ensure we fast track some of these partnerships and some of these license for our fans, mainly the purpose of that. The other major side is how do we understand, how do we let the Asian culture understand the Western properties? Obviously, a big part of our platform focus on artists, artworks. So how do we promote and bring artists to foster into new region? And these type of things are very important for VeVe, and just to ensure that we get a good mix of it.
Right.
So that's interesting. I guess they're trying to figure out how to get Asia involved in the culture that's been created here at VeVe. And to an extent, I get it. I don't know if it's that artist oriented in Asia though. I know that there's a lot of gamers. I know esports is huge. I know there's a lot going on over there. But I don't know if they care about individual artists. I think they care about the products and the things that you can do and stuff like that. So I would assume that in Asia anyways, especially because they already have this digital market that's massive. In Asia, I would assume that it's probably more so what you can do with it, the experience, the gaming aspect, because they play a lot of games over there that like it's a lot of anime, things like that. I mean, anime is big here, but it's a whole different ball game there. Their anime stars are like anime stars is big here in America, but it's like it's a different ball game in Asia, man. But I'm definitely interested in hearing and seeing where they go with this, like where this goes, the interest. I'm very curious in just seeing, like, I have to just watch and see what happens, because it's hard to tell, it's hard to predict what's going to end up happening. But I like the things that David is saying right now. It lets me know that they're asking the tough questions. They're tweaking their plan and trying to keep up with where things is going, not just where they are. I hope that they are doing the same thing when it comes down to the cryptocurrency, metaverses, and things like that as well.
And speaking of marketing in Asia, I have a question about marketing in general. So in the past, there was a period of time where we didn't have cash out, so you guys couldn't really push on marketing, and then now we do have cash out. Maybe it's just a beta version with the new provider, but cash out is there and will be implemented to a wider user base. I think you have also pushed the KYC requirements a little bit further back in the process so that people don't have to face that challenge right away if they just want to try out the app. So, if what is your plan to market VeVe going forward?
Thank you for touching that. So apart from the physical, turning up to cons and conventions, a major part that is obviously the digital
and ironically, the cons and things like that. I'm tired. It's mad late now, y'all. It's like 11:11. So yeah, your boy's getting tired. But ironically, the cons may not be the best form of marketing, but it is big because the people who attend cons have a lot of money, have a lot of disposable income. So it's like a lot of people there, like collectors, real collectors, they're willing to spend tons of money on things to collect. So it's quality people that you're getting there. When you go to these cons, especially making the type of noise that VeVe makes, that's quality people that you can bring into the ecosystem. It's not the masses, but it's quality people. So I like it. Let's hear what else though.
Transformation. So we have been building a digital marketing team, which we are in the process rolling out. You probably have seen inside the ad, you now, for example, the comics, you scroll down, you see a bit of video.
Yep.
It is all about how do we capture that audience and give them one portal to go and understand what VeVe is. A major part of this push really will be rolling out in Q4, start of Q4. We have onboarded.
I don't like giving dates. I don't like the dates, but I mean, Q4 is their plan to roll out this marketing team.
New talent in the company in the past couple months. I think we have, in fact, a new personnel just started or coming on board on this Monday who will be driving our digital growth. So yeah,
if he just started on Monday, you don't know if he's going to be competent enough and going to be meeting the deadlines and stuff. I mean, hopefully they did a good hire, and that's that. So this is just a plan. I'm not going to act like it's set in stone, but I would love if they actually start meeting these deadlines. But yeah,
we're quite excited and looking forward to build that. One of the major part in this business is that there's a lot of moving parts, and the amount of resource that we can put into each side. We see where the issues is, and we try to basically tackle each one of them individually as we see fit with time. And finding the right talent on board, it is very important. I think on my past videos, I did talked about both myself and Dan as employee number 1 in the company. Then we grow to the 7th hire, the 17th hire, the 70, and the 300. VeVe is going through between the 70 to the 300 process. So now we have legal departments, we now have accounts departments, we have HR managers go through, we have weekly and bi-weekly team meetings.
So the thing that I'm loving that I'm hearing about this now is now we can kind of see where some of this money is going to, because it hasn't been looking too good. But now with the size of VeVe's team, obviously there's some good budget put behind all the hires that they're having right now. So gotta respect it. Like this, like I said, this is very bullish. A lot of bullish. I've not heard anything that's actually not bullish. I mean, but it always sounds good. So like I said, I'm not full aping back in or anything like that, but I'm liking what I'm hearing for sure.
With all our employees and contractors out there, and really ensuring that everyone's empowered to focus on their division and bring out the best of that. And you a lot of our fans will have seen that, for example, with Mitch coming on board, you have seen more regular updates, you have seen features rolling out, and nevertheless, there's always going to be bugs. And especially where VeVe is, we got a lot of products coming out. We've got a lot of new feature. We're trying to tackle new regions. All these things are all happening at once. So it does take a lot more longer. But marketing is definitely a Q4. You'll see a lot more content coming out and pipelines through that.
Yeah.
Okay, so amazing information. I like the mindset, I like the perspective, and I like what they're doing. I like to hear all of this. It's very, very bullish information. I'm super excited about it. So yeah, we're gonna end this video here. We're gonna go over the rest in future uploads. Obviously, you all know I like to break this down. I'm getting tired, so I might go to sleep and finish checking out the rest of the information for you all tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let me know how you all feel about this in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.